What's up, y'all? This is Relly back with another video. Yes, son, today we have to talk about who may be potential NBA draft steals in this 2020 NBA draft. And I think this draft might have some very sneaky players because this is the least popular draft that we've ever seen. It doesn't have as many names as we think it has. And I just think this draft has a chance to really sneak up on a lot of people just because of how low we've picked this draft caliber wise. You know what I'm saying? Like we've already said, we're already looking to the 2021 NBA draft. And I think these players right now have a chance to really shock the world and shock us and show us that they have a lot more potential than what we give them credit for. And I feel like Patrick Williams is going to be one of the biggest steals in this 2020 NBA draft because he just reminds me so much of a very young Paul George, Jimmy Butler, or Kawhi Leonard because he's very, very effective defensively, right? But he needs work offensively, and there's no hiding that. But if he shows any type of promise or any type of development like any one of those three players, all he needs is to be on the right team that's going to help him grow so he can be a very effective player. Do I think he's going to be like a Jimmy Butler potential-wise? I don't know. Kawhi, I don't know. Paul George, I don't know. But I feel like if you give him in the right situation, give him the right coaching staff, the right development system, I believe Patrick Williams could really develop into something really, really nice and shock the world and actually be a huge draft steal and just make a lot of people shake their heads and say, how did we not draft this guy? And another player that may shock a lot of people as I say this, because a lot of people understand that I'm not very high on him, right? I'm not 100% bought in on this player. But that was the very same reason that made me evaluate myself and say this player might end up being a steal. Because I think a lot of people are like me or are in the same circumstances and saying to themselves, can this player translate the way this other player translated years ago? And the player I'm referring to is Deni, right? Deni has a chance to be a draft steal because it is still a lot of people that's not bought in, right? Say it whatever you want to say. It's still that stigmatization on players that come overseas because we don't watch them as much as players like Obi or LaMelo Ball, right? Or Isaac Okoro. We don't go out to watch them as much as those other players. So we have these expectations and we say to ourselves that the league that they play in is not that good, when in translation, they've been playing grown men all of their life from a very, very young age, just like Luka Doncic, a player that I was excited for, right? That was on the same type of path, right? But the thing about it, which is why I think Deni might end up being a steal, is because unrealistically, I compare Deni to Luka Doncic, and I tell myself he's not Luka Doncic, and since he's not Luka Doncic, he's not going to translate in the NBA. And that's the reason why I'm trying to kind of take myself out of that and say to myself, wow, this player does have a chance to do exactly what Luka Doncic do and prove us wrong. And I think Deni is going to have that circumstance where he proves us wrong. And I understand he's rated to get selected very, very high, but I still think that's why he's going to be a steal, because he's going to go very, very high, and he has a chance to either be a huge steal or a very huge bust, right? He's either going to prove the theory that this is why we do not trust players overseas, or he's going to validate the fact that this is why you have to put more respect on overseas players because they've been playing with grown men all their life and they're ready for the relation and the translation to that league, to the NBA. And another player I believe is going to be very, very underrated and by default is going to be a huge draft steal in the NBA draft is no other than Isaac Okoro. I think Isaac Okoro, being on the radar on a lot of different teams, I believe he has a chance to be legitimately special, right? And I feel like just like the rest of the players, like I have to emphasize a lot, these players have to be drafted on the right team. And if they're drafted on the right team, with the right system, with the right coach, with the right atmosphere that believes in them, especially on a development standpoint, these players have a chance to be something special. And I understand that this 2020 NBA draft do not have as much hype as all other drafts, right? And I understand that. But this is why I think this draft has a chance to legitimately shock a lot of people and produce a lot of talent that might actually be special and last more than 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Down in the comments below, let me know if you feel like any of the players I named today is going to be steals in the 2020 NBA draft. If not, let me know down in the comments below. who y'all think is going to be the biggest steal in this 2020 draft. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content because we are on the 1K grind. And with y'all, I know I can get there. So, with that being said, Ghost.
Motivated all about cash flow, ran it up and ran out of the skills. In the field and we turned into hoopers. For the clip like bonds we show, just like some soldiers we trooping.